Hi, my name is Marie, born and raised in Watamu, Kenya. We live in the US, but we're in Kenya visiting for now.
Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Jacob Vega. I'm Marion's husband. I live in the US, Texas, and we're just chilling in Kenya for a little while.
Okay, thank you. So, Maria, take me back to your childhood, how you grew up in Kenya.
Yeah. Well, growing up in Watamu, I like to say it's like the best place on earth. Aside from the beautiful beaches that we have warm people. From its name, you can see Watamu means sweet people. So it's a nice place. I had a good childhood there. Went to school, played with friends, was also very active in church. So I would say I had quite a good childhood growing up, and I really loved growing up in Watamu.
Yeah. And how was the family structure like?
So my mom is late, but she was a single mom. So she raised me and my sister. So I'm the firstborn. I have a sister, who is around 3 years younger than me. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same question.
Like, how was your childhood like in US?
Ooh, crazy, but I had a good time. I'm the firstborn, one of three. I have a brother and a sister. Growing up, me and my brother, for a while, we were the only ones. Like, my mom was a single parent for a while. She had 2 jobs, trying to go to school, and we sort of bounced around from place to place. We lived with my grandparents for a while, and then after my mom got married to my dad, my sister came along, and it's been pretty cool. I also grew up on a coastal town, Corpus Christi, so I found a lot of similarities with Marion's, I guess, with her hometown and the way her personality is. It was familiar. It was nice.
Did you study in US?
I'm currently in school now. I'm trying to finish up an associate's and then move on to a bachelor's. Yeah.
Okay.
But the main childhood and everything's US.
Oh, childhood US, yeah.
School.
I went to school in the US pretty much all my life.
When did you complete your school? Maybe your...
Oh, let's see. Graduated high school in 2004, and then from there just straight into the military.
Military? Oh. And you, Maria, after completing school, which year was that, and how was life after that?
I think I completed my high school, 4th form, in 2011. Yeah. And then after that, I stayed home for a while because we didn't have money for me to go to school. So I stayed home, but I got a job immediately, and I was doing sales and marketing. You know, those jobs that are put on the newspaper saying we want sales lady to come and sell, I don't know. So I used to do perfume, air fresheners, the toilet blocks, and I would sell them to like people with cars, schools. So that's what I was doing. I did that for like a year and a half.
Still in Watamu?
No, now that I'd come to Nairobi. So I schooled in Watamu for a bit, and then after that I moved to Voi, and then from Voi I came to Nairobi. So when I did my class 8 in Nairobi, the main reason is because at the coast people don't take education that seriously. So my mom was like, hey, the way you're performing in school, like you're such a good performer, I don't want this to go to waste. So I feel like it's better for you to school in Bara, Nairobi. So that's how I moved to Voi. Then from Voi now we moved to Nairobi.
With her?
No, I was staying with a relative. So she found a relative for me because her job was in Watamu. She couldn't come with me, or she couldn't move to Nairobi. So she found a relative who was staying in Voi at that time. So we stayed with her, my auntie, and then from there, the husband got a transfer to go to Nairobi or to work in Nairobi. So they carried me along. Yeah. And class 8 I did in Nairobi. And so, those days when you do, the area that you do class 8, that's why you're more likely to be called school-wise. So from there, I was in Rongai. so after that, Rongai. So after that, I got my letter for my girls senior. So that's what I did from 1 to form 4, and I completed in 2011. And then went on to start working because there was no money for me to pursue my education like further. So did that for 1 year and a half until, you know, another relative offered to take me to school, and I was like, yeah. So from then I moved to school. I went to Limuru, St. Paul's University, and I did that for 2.5 years because I was already way back. My peers at that time had already been in school for like a year, so I felt like I've been left behind, and I needed to make up that time. So I was specifically looking for a university that would allow me to do what do you call it? Kind of like a crash, the same program for a shorter period of time. And St. Paul's offered that. So instead of doing 4 years degree, I did it in 2.5 years. Yeah.
Which year did you complete?
I completed in 2015, graduated in 2016.
And then after that?
After that, I got a job. I keep saying I'm actually one of those lucky Kenyans. I've never tarmacked in this country. Like, I feel like Kenya has always been a very, very good country. It has always been kind to me. The only thing I keep saying jokingly is that Kenya didn't give me was a husband. I had to get a husband somewhere else. But pretty much after because what to do with St. Paul's, what they do is first you complete your course and then you go for internship. It's not like most universities where you have to go for the internship and then I'll come back to finish the course. So after doing the course and I was looking for internship, I happened to get a very good internship in a marketing agency because I did Bachelor's of Arts in marketing, BBA marketing option. So I got a job at a marketing agency as an intern, and I did that for 8 months. That's Mike. Come sit here.
Yeah.
Take my phone, but don't make noise. Come. And don't make noise, we're making a video. So remember that mommy makes videos. Sit there. Here. So I got an internship in a marketing agency, and I did that for 8 months. And after the 8 months, they absorbed me into the company, and I started my career. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jacob, share with us your fun moments or memorable moments in your childhood that you remember vividly.
Let's see. Growing up, we spent a lot of time outside. We didn't really have a whole lot of money to do too much, but we had enough to have toys and bikes and things like that. Usually be me, my brother, the neighborhood kids, or my little cousin. We would just ride around, play basketball, go to the store, things like that, the mall. I think the more exciting parts of my life were in Corpus Christi, we live in a zone that gets hit a lot by hurricanes. Mm-hmm. I remember on multiple occasions, me, my brother, and all the neighborhood kids or my cousins would be outside playing while the hurricane hit. And so the rain would be coming sideways like this. It would hit us in the face and it stung, but we had the time of our life. It was great. And then when it passed, everything was flooded. And so instead of, freaking out, we just saw it as an opportunity to get skateboards and ride down the driveway into the flooded street. So we had our own little water park. It was nice. Okay. High school was pretty cool. I think in my sophomore, junior year, I had gotten a job. And it was my first official job. Before then, I would just work with my dad. Me and my brother would help him with his lawn business, and we would just help him drag tree limbs from wherever he was cutting to the front. So we'd make a little extra money that way. But with this actual job, I found out that I don't like paying bills. My dad gave me the light bill. He said, okay, if you're gonna work, you have your own little money, you can help out too. So you either get the light bill or the water bill. Which one do you want? So I chose the light bill. When my brother came of age, he got a job and he chose the water bill. To this day, I still don't like it when when Marion leaves that microwave door open and the light is on, it irks me. Or if the light is on, like my son will leave the light on because he's scared of the dark. And I was like, I'll wait for him to go to sleep, and like, click. So I learned the responsibility very early on. When my sister was born, things changed, but they didn't change for the worse. Like I love my sister. Like me and my brother and my sister get along really well. As she grew up, of course, us being boys, we would pick on her a lot. And then when she hit middle school, we stopped picking on her because my dad taught her how to fight, properly fight. And so now, whenever we're roughhousing, we have to remember, like, if she gets riled up enough, like, she's gonna knock one of us out. So it's pretty fun. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, nice. And how was your dream as a young boy growing up? How did you see yourself?
I wanted to be a soldier. That's all I've ever wanted to be. Once I got into the military, I served for 6 years, and I got out because I found out, you know what, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. 6 years is long enough. I want to try something different.
Take us through the journey of military training in the US briefly. How is it?
So when I joined in 2004, the Iraq War was 3 years old. Things were very intense. And so when I went to boot camp, the first day our drill sergeant told us, all of you are going to go. I don't know when you're going to go. I don't know who you're going to go with, but you're going to go. So don't have it in your mind that you're going to be stateside your entire career. It's not going to happen. We need everybody out there doing their job. And even before I left, I already knew. Like, I was expecting to go. I wanted to go. Training was intense. It was 9 weeks. Usually it's a little longer than that, but they needed boots on the ground like now. So it was very fast paced. It was very stressful. You didn't get a lot of sleep. The hours were long and the training was constant. They would punish you for any little thing. So when you're in the cafeteria, we call it the chow hall, they tell you can get whatever you want, but it's a trap.
How is that trap?
They wait for you to get ice cream or cookies, anything but water. They're waiting and they're watching, so that when you come out, they wait for all of you to come out. And that's when they tell you, I want everybody to thank Private so-and-so for eating a piece of cake and nobody else got one. So to motivate Private so-and-so, he calls him out in front of the platoon, which is like 30 guys, and he smokes the entire platoon except for Private so-and-so. What I mean by smoke is you're doing intense physical training for like the next 20 minutes, nonstop. If you throw up, he tells you, get the F up, stop being a P word, and keep up with the platoon, or we're just gonna keep going until I get tired. Once training was over, I went to the AIT, which is our job placement school, where you pick your job before you leave. You go to the school, you learn what your job is, how to do it. It wasn't as intense as basic, but the discipline is still there.
What was that course?
I went to a course for medical supply, and I thought it was gonna be relaxed because we went to Fort Sam, and I heard like it was chill and easy, and the food was a lot better. But that was also a lie. That was also a lie. And it wasn't just our drill sergeant watching. It was all the drill sergeants on that post, all the lieutenants, all the sergeants, because they know you're in training. Mm-hmm. They know. It's easy to pick you out. But once I got through school, I went to my first unit. I was there for 4 months, and they told us, okay, tomorrow at 04:30 in the morning, you need to be packed, ready, dressed, all that, because we're getting shipped out.
To where?
Iraq. So I spent 12 months in Iraq.
How was it there?
Iraq has its own smell. I very distinctly remember the smell. It was like a dusty armpit. And back then it was because, things were happening. wasn't a lot of infrastructure because there was a lot of chaos. The post that we were at, it was more developed than the other places. Like we actually had buildings we could live in, but you still had to maintain awareness and discipline, and you still needed to do your job. Like, doesn't matter if you're sick. There's no sick days in Iraq. If you're sick, throwing up, they'll tell you drink water, here's some ibuprofen, now get back to work. It was very hot, and when it rained, the ground turned to mud. So it was like walking in a sea of pudding. You could not stay clean to save your life over there. I turned 21 over there. I also got promoted, but I also got in trouble. I got in trouble. So over there's a lot of accountability. Let's say my wife is my sergeant, right? And somebody comes up, hey man, we need a driver. We need somebody like right now. Like, can you go? Now, back then I knew I'm supposed to tell my sergeant, hey, hey, they need a driver for a convoy, but I should be back tomorrow morning. And she'll either give me the yes or no. Like, but I didn't say nothing. I just got my stuff and I went. She didn't know where I was. My sergeant freaks out. And on the way back, I had gotten promoted. And during the ceremony, they pin it. Your rank is right here. So they pin the rank on you. And it's like a rite of passage. When she got to me, she was so mad, but she couldn't show it. But I knew she was mad. She didn't. They had the Velcro ones, but she opted for the ones, the actual pins. And so as she's pinning me, she puts it right there, steadies it, and then she whispers in my ear, "It's like, this isn't your punishment." It was like, "That's coming later." Yeah, but in all, she was a really good sergeant. I am still in contact with her today, and yeah, she took care of us. Yeah. There's a lot more like crazy stories that are actually pretty funny.
The one that you remember up to date, which one was that?
Okay, so one of our guys, it was his birthday. He was so excited, you know. We told him, "Yeah, man, we got a party for you. We got to keep in mind, we're still in Iraq. We can't really do a whole lot, but you know, we at least told everybody back home, hey man, send some stuff. We're having a party for one of our friends. We're gonna do it up for him." What we didn't tell him was that we would also plan a prank. So me and my buddy DeViver, we got up on the roof of the building that we're staying at. He had some flour, and I had a bucket of water, and so one of the medics, called him out and say, "Hey, his first name was Freddie." He's like, "Hey Freddie, come on, man." It was like, the party's ready, you know, everybody's waiting for you. So he's excited, you know. I was like, oh, you know, he's excited. He comes out, and it was beautiful. I dumped the water first. As soon as the water hit him, he stops. And then that's when my friend DeViver just hit him with the He didn't say nothing. He stood there for a minute. He turned right back around and went back inside. It was so bad. And then later on, he told us, he's like, for a split second, I wanted to shoot y'all because he had his rifle. He was so mad. But he ended up getting us back. He stole, what did he steal? He stole my magazine with my rounds in them. And over there, that's a big no-no. You got to keep track of your stuff. And so for the whole day, I was freaking out. And then the next morning, he goes, hey Vega. I was like, I see you got a naked rifle. I was like, where's your rounds? I was like, I don't know, Freddie. Where are my rounds? So he told me where they were. He had put them, he said they're on the roof, but he didn't tell me where. So I spent another 3 hours on the roof looking for my magazine. DeViver, he stole his boots. and he put those. I don't remember where he put them, but it took my friend Deviver 2 days to find his boots. And so he was walking around with his tennis shoes, and everyone's making fun of him. It's like, hey, bro, you can't be spending all your money on video games, man. You need to buy some boots. Yeah. So Iraq was actually, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. And for the audience who are watching us, young men who have a dream to go and, get trained in the U.S. and become U.S. Army, right. Talk to them. What would you love them to know? Okay.
First things first, when you get off the bus, do so expediently. Like as soon as they park, and he tells you, he gets up on there and he tells you to get the F out, get out. Get all your stuff, push somebody over if you have to, but get out of the bus. Do not call them sergeant. Call them drill sergeant. Yes, drill sergeant, no drill sergeant. That's the only thing I want to hear. It's mainly mind games. So just keep in mind, they're not doing it because they want to. They're doing it to test you. They need to know that if they send you out there, you're going to keep your head on when, it hits the fan, when things get really intense. Don't take it personal. Don't hold grudges. Just listen to what he's telling you and just do it. Yes, drill sergeant, no drill sergeant. That's all you need to know. Physical training, I don't remember what the standards are now. I think they added a lot more events. Just do your best. If you're tired, block it out. If you're hurt, you need to say something so they can fix you up and you can get back out there. If you throw up, just keep going. Nobody cares. Everybody throws up. Yeah. In fact, if you don't throw up, you're not trying hard enough. That's what they're going to tell you. And drink water. No supplements, no soda. And if they tell you that you can have a piece of cake in the defect, it's a trap. Don't do it. Do not do it. Don't be the one. Don't threaten the drill sergeants because they will swing at you and they will beat you down. And then you'll get an Article 15 and probably get kicked out. Just try your best. Learn from them and then learn from each other. If you see somebody struggling, help them out, because if chances are they're going to be the weakest link and they're going to be the ones that the drill sergeant targets. But they're not just going to target them, they're going to target all of you. Mass punishment is still very much a thing in the military. And I didn't like it at the time, but now I realize it's because you need to work as a unit, as a squad, as a single entity. If they see that you're ignoring Private Snuffy because he's not shining his boots right, take him aside and either show him how to shine the boots right or find somebody in your platoon who knows how to do it really well and have him do it. Have him show you. Or him. Don't ever leave anybody behind. Ever. Don't do it. So that's all I got. Other than that, before you leave, drink a lot of water. A month before you go to basic, don't eat any fried stuff. Don't eat any sweets. Maybe here and there. Just, watch your diet. It's going to help you. And then run a lot. Find some comfortable shoes and run like your life depends on it.
How has that influenced you in your personal life, even after getting out of?
So one thing I've noticed is I have a higher tolerance to change and BS. In fact, I prefer things to somebody to just tell me straight. Like if I'm gonna have a really bad time at work and my boss tries to sugarcoat it, I was like, look, just tell me what we need to do so we can get it done and we can go home. That's all I care about. The discipline stays there. Sometimes I have to explain to people, I don't say yes ma'am, no ma'am, or yes sir, no sir to make you feel old. It's a respect thing. It's something that's been ingrained and it's not going away. So if I say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, it's because I don't really know you and I'm trying to be respectful. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Back to Marie. Take us through your journey after working. What happened?
Wow. I think pretty much working. There's nothing else that happened after work. Started family. Yeah, so I started working in 2016, like now the official after high school campus, and I worked up until 2020. So that's when I left the workforce because I was pregnant, and we decided it's best for me to just stay home for some years to just watch the baby.
2020.
Yeah.
You were working here in Nairobi.
Yes.
How did you meet?
So we met online. We met on a dating site. Yeah. When I was still working.
Which year was that?
2019. Yeah, 2019.
Which website?
Okay, Cupid.
Okay, Cupid.
What influenced you, or why?
Why the website? Well, I don't know. I feel like everybody in Nairobi, even the men, will tell you soko ni chafu. Yeah, it's been dirty for a while. So I had tried dating, the conventional way, going to church to meet someone, or meeting in a matatu and striking a conversation, or meeting at work. But none of that really worked. And it got to a point I was like, maybe I just need to try another, how do I say it?
What avenue?
Other people, aside from our own African people, at that point Kenyan. I was like, I think I'm done with Kenyans for now. If I'm ever gonna do an African man, it's gonna be a Nigerian man. I don't know why. But yeah, so that's what led me to try online dating, because then if I wanted other people, it would be very hard to meet them. Because the only time I was interacting with them was at work, and it wasn't so much. It's not every day where you meet people from other countries. So yeah, that's what I was like, being online, that would give me a better platform, because then you talk to people from all across the world.
Okay. Yeah. So how did you position yourself, and who swiped who? Because I understand it's a swiping.
Swiping game. So we both swiped. I think I'd swiped first and he swiped. So what happens is, with the apps, if you swipe and all of you have swiped on each other, like swiped left, that means you like them. Then that's when the app will tell you, oh, congratulations, you both like each other. And it will tell you now to, based on the app that you're using, it will tell you to now text, or talk to that person. There are some apps that you can only talk to them if one of you has paid, but for this one, it was easy. Had you paid?
I think I did.
Because I keep getting conflicted if you had.
Let's go back to Jacob. Now you paid the app, yeah?
Yeah.
Take us back, your journey before coming to website. How was your life like? Love life.
Well, I mean, before that, for 5 years, I was actually with someone. We were engaged at one point, but we just...
American still. Yes.
It didn't work out because I didn't want to stay. We were in Austin, so I didn't want to stay in Austin. I'd gotten a job in a city that was 4 hours away. No, not 4 hours. It was like an hour and a half away. So driving back and forth, it was taxing. I was tired. And then she didn't want to travel, really. Me, I still had that, like, I want to go do stuff. Like, I want to go here, I want to go here. She wanted to stay because her family was there, and she never really traveled outside of Austin. We couldn't really get past that roadblock, so I ended up moving. We broke it off. I took some time to myself. I just didn't feel like dating for a while. And then I jumped on the app just to see who was out there, because I was in a new city. I already had like friends there, but I wanted to date. Yeah, I was ready.
Yeah.
The first couple matches I had, woo! Oh my God. So I got catfished once. I got ghosted once. And then there was one where I matched up and we were supposed to meet for our first date. But she sent a lot of red flags just on the text messages, and I said, you know what, I think I'm just gonna go home.
What are red flags?
Okay, so I was supposed to pick her up, and we were supposed to go out to eat. she wanted to make a stop somewhere, and at first I thought it was like, okay, well, maybe you want to pick up some drinks for after, or maybe you forgot to get something from the store, whatever. And I said, okay, so like, where are we going? To my friend's house. And I was like, okay, cool. For what? Like, just curious. And she said, party favors. And to me, that's a red flag, because over there, party favors means one of two things. And she was not throwing a birthday party. So she was talking about something illicit that we're not supposed to have. And I didn't feel like being caught up in that. I like having my freedom and not being shot because somebody's trying to rob us. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go home. It's nice talking to you. I'm just going to go my own way.
Yes. Continue.
All right. Oh.
Like after a few days.
Okay, so I was a little discouraged with what was around me, and I decided to open it up to the world to see if I could find somebody that I actually matched with. I matched with somebody from Japan and a few girls from the Philippines, but conversation just wasn't there. When I finally, before I matched with Marion, I actually matched with somebody from Zimbabwe. It didn't work because I told her, look, I'm just letting you know right now, I'm not tall at all. I'm actually pretty short. Is that okay with you? And she says, well, how short? I was like, I'm 5'1". I don't know what that is in centimeters. And so after a few minutes, I guess she looked it up. She's like, oh no, that's too short. Oh, this isn't gonna work. It's like, hey, totally fine. You go find yourself a tall prince. Go on right ahead. And so finally I matched up with Marion because I saw that she was short like me. I was like, hey, we got something in common. Look at that. We see eye to eye.
Yeah. So you swiped first, right?
I did.
Yeah. Why did you swipe?
Well, aside from her being cute and we're like the same height. So I read on her profile that she wanted the same things that I wanted. She wanted a lifelong partnership. She wanted kids. She wanted to build something. And she also, she had the same religion as I do. It's like, I'm Catholic, she's Catholic. So everything seemed to match up really well. And I was like, okay, she might actually work out. And so I just sent my first little message and waited.
Yeah. After you saw his first message, what?
I didn't say anything. Because the first message he sent me was like, oh, you're short like me. So I was like, okay. So I didn't even say anything. And I went on to just, swipe. So it's a full-time job and I was working full-time. So most times what I would do, I would set time after work. And after I've had my dinner, before just in bed, I would set like 1 hour, 2 hours of just swiping until I ran out of my swipes or likes. Because if you've not paid for it, they only give you 50 in a day or within 24 hours. So I would make sure I've finished all the 50 profiles, just, looking at. Yeah, so when he texted and said, you're short like me, I was like, okay. And I went on with my day. The next day when he saw I did not respond, he still texted me because he was in the US, I'm in Kenya. There's an 8-hour difference. So the next day, he texts and he's like, oh, I'm going in for work. In case you text me and I don't respond, just know I'm working, but I'll respond to you as soon as I'm off or as soon as I get some time. And that really caught my attention. That's actually what caught my attention, because I'm coming, or we live in a patriarchal society where men don't want to be asked where they are, what they're doing, who they're with, So this is a complete stranger. He doesn't know me. He does not owe me any explanation, but he's here explaining his day and, kind of trying to plan how his day is and letting me in on it. Sounds like this is interesting. So that's when I responded. I was like, oh, okay, no worries. I'll just be here. Let me know when you're off work. Yeah, and because of that, I was like, when you text me, it's probably gonna be late, over here. So here's my WhatsApp number. I feel like it's easier for you to text me on WhatsApp than on the app. So you can text me on WhatsApp. So I sent him my WhatsApp number. And he sends me back a message and says, oh, I don't have WhatsApp. but I'll download it. And that kind of came off to me as a red flag, because being in Africa, I'd not traveled outside of Africa. I was like, how comes you don't have WhatsApp? I found that to be curious. Yeah, I found that to be a bit odd. I was like, how comes you don't have WhatsApp? But I was like, okay, since you've made the effort to say you're gonna download, that's still good. But then I asked him, how comes you don't have WhatsApp? That's when he told me, you know, he uses Facebook a lot. But having now interacted with Americans, I've come to realize that most Americans don't use WhatsApp. It's actually a foreign thing. Yeah, most Americans are either on FaceTime or Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, or Snapchat now for the young generation, and Instagram. Yeah, so that's why he did not have WhatsApp. But at least he made the effort to download the app. I was like, okay, that's fine, I'll take it. Yeah. So that was my first culture shock, actually, thinking that WhatsApp is a global thing and everybody uses it, but Americans don't use WhatsApp. Yeah.
Now you went to have conversation on WhatsApp.
Yes. So we moved to WhatsApp and we started talking there. It was pretty cool. I liked how the conversation was flowing, and it felt like we were not pushing it or we were not forcing it. It felt like I had known him for years. You know, the conversation was just flowing.
What were you discussing, you guys?
Oh, very serious things. First week,
Like?
how many kids we want. It was that serious.
How
Like,
many did you want?
okay, he wanted 5, I wanted 3. So we were like, okay, we'll meet on the middle for starters. So we were like, 4 is a good ground. Yeah, so things like, you know, I think day 1 is when we did the favorite color and all that, but after that it was just deep conversations. Do you want to live in your country? Are you willing to move? That's what he asked, you know, and I asked him the same, you know, are you fixated on staying in your own country, or are you willing to move? You know, in terms of like the questions were mostly based on just what he had answered on the app. I like that app because it kind of breaks down. If someone is very genuine, then you can be able to tell what kind of a person they are just by reading their bio. So it was just confirming some of those things. You know, someone can write, but when you speak to them, then you can be able to see that doesn't match what you've said on the app. So pretty much what he had written on the app. And when I was reading his bio, what actually made me swipe, aside from he's cute, is his bio was so honest. Like, I felt that was the first bio I read online. I was like, why are you putting all this information here? Like, why are you this honest? It's, you know, so that really made me like his profile. And when I
It's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. He's okay.
when I now moved to talking to him, I realized honesty. He's one of those honest guys. Like, he doesn't lie or anything.
Straightforward.
He's very straightforward. Yeah, what you see is what you get. So yeah, pretty much 1 week talking, and then he knew it's my birthday because we met August 19th.
Yeah.
We started talking that 1 week. Of course, he knows my birthday, so he's like, since your birthday is coming up in September, I think I want to come to Kenya to meet you as we celebrate your birthday. And now I was like, catfish. Red flag. Red flag. Yes, that was red flag, because I had been catfished by people who use the same line. They're like, oh, we've met, Nini, so I want to come to Nairobi and meet you.
You told me that too.
But then when they're supposed to come, they don't come. You know, some even tell you they found a job with like one of the biggest companies here, you know, those foreign companies, and they're like, oh, nice. Because I wanted to get someone who is not from here, but as someone who is also willing to live here. Because I've lived in Watamu, and I know it's possible for, you know, people who are not from Kenya or Africa to live in Kenya. So that was kind of what I was looking for. So when I met someone who was like, oh, I found a job with this company in Nairobi, so I'm moving to Nairobi, I'll be more excited about that, because then that means I get to get my person who's not from Kenya, but he lives in Kenya with me. So most of the catfish that I went through were people telling you, oh, I'm going to come. And then the day when they're supposed to come, they ghost you. A few days before they come, you're texting them, they're not responding, you're emailing, they're not responding, you're just trying, they just lose contact with you. So that when he said he wants to come, I was like, another catfish coming. So I actually told my friend at that time, because I was still working, I told my friend, I've met this guy on this app, and we're talking, he seems nice, and he says he wants to come. But I'm like, we've only been talking for 1 week, you already want to come see me. I was like, I think it's just another catfish. And my friend was like, there's nothing, you're not losing anything.
After all, you're in your country.
Yeah, you're not losing anything. So I was like, fine. So I think the second week we start talking still, and at that point he's already calling me sweetheart and babe, and I'm like, oh, okay, it sounds good. Now I have someone serious, and I'm not spending most of the hours after work just swiping. At least we are talking. We've even moved to video calls. I've seen him. It was flowing. Honestly, I would feel like we have met and we've known each other for years. And sometimes I would even tell him jokes, in the Kenyan jokes, and he would still laugh. Like, he would get the joke. I was like, how did you get that joke? I didn't expect you to get it, but you got it. So I felt like there was a lot of connection. And even when we were swiping, I remember when I swiped on his profile, the app told me we have a 90-something% compatibility, because it tells you how compatible you are based on what they've written on their profile and what you've written. So ours was on the 90s. I was like, oh, this is good. So, and it felt like that even when we moved to WhatsApp and we're talking. Yeah, so second week he asks me, so which airport is closer to you? I was like, okay. So I tell him it's JKIA, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And he's like, okay, I'm trying to look for my ticket. I was like, okay. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna catch him. I'm gonna catch him if he's a catfish. So when he told me he's booked his ticket, I was like,
send me.
I didn't tell him send. You have to be smart about it. Okay. So I didn't tell him send me the ticket. I was like, if you're coming to see me, I have to be the one to pick you up. And so I need to know your flight itinerary, what time the flight is landing and all that, so I can plan for the pickup. And guess what he says? He's like, he refuses to send me the ticket. And that confirms everything. I was like, good. I knew it. I knew you're not coming. So anyway, I did not show him that I was doubting he's not coming. I kept talking to him, but I'm still on the app. I'm still swiping. And I think after 2 days of us talking, that's when he finally sent the itinerary. And I was like, oh my god, so he's truly coming. It's happening. That was the delay. So I actually rushed to my friend's desk, and I was like, hey, this guy I was telling his catfish is actually coming. Look, this is his ticket. Yeah, so he came actually 1 month, on the 19th of September. He was here.
Let me go back to Jacob. Why that fast? What made you want to come for her birthday?
Oh, I just didn't want her to get away.
You don't want me to get away?
No. So, I don't know. It just felt right to me, and so I just did it. And to me, it felt perfect because it's her birthday. It'll be our first time meeting, and we're both travelers, so it's like it's any opportunity to move around and see new things, we're gonna take it. Honestly, I wasn't really scared until I landed, in Kenya, because then I started thinking, it's like, what if this is a trap? What if I'm getting set up? What if I'm gonna get kidnapped?
And you're a soldier.
Yeah, I was like, crap. But yeah, everything actually turned out well. It was great.
So how was that journey like? How was that journey like, the first time coming to Kenya?
Oh man, I wasn't ready. So it's to go from Texas to Kenya, it's 3 flights, right?
3.
Yeah, 3. So I'm traveling, I think 24 hours. It was nice. My favorite was Qatar Airways. Oh man, I love y'all. Their food was good, the seats were comfy. Doha was really cool. The first time I went to Doha, my mind was blown. I still haven't explored all of Doha. And then when I finally got to Kenya, I was all kinds of excited. I was super excited. I was tired, and I didn't really know how anything worked, and I got up there. I gave my my visa and hope for the best and my passport. I think to me the culture shock is where I forget that I'm in a new country and the currencies are different. So I really didn't know what to expect. Like, do I need my card? Do I have to change over my money? And then how am I going to call and pay for anything? So I really didn't. I was jumping into deep water. I didn't know what I was really getting myself into, and I didn't realize it until like we were in the car from the airport that I'm gonna have to rely on her for pretty much everything. So it's almost like I'm starting over, and it's a little nerve-wracking, but I wasn't so nerve-wracked to where I couldn't enjoy myself and enjoy my time.
At what time did you land here in Kenya?
That night.
I think it was either late at night or very early in the morning to where the sun's not even up yet.
It was at night.
Was
It
it?
was 11. 11. Your flight was here at 11:50 something.
So it was close to midnight.
So she was waiting for you.
Yeah.
So where did you move to?
Sorry?
Where did you move to after your meeting?
1 minute. Huh? Mpe mbili. Tuwili. So, we went to my house. We went to my house. I don't advise that. Like he said, it felt right for him to come or do it, sooner than when he did it. And for me also, it felt right. And for me, it also felt right. But what happened is, when he showed me his flight ticket, I actually sat down and I thought, this guy is coming to Africa for the first time. Because over the US there, they like to call Africa is just Africa. Most of them don't know Kenya, Ghana. They just think it's one place. No, Baba. So he was, do you want to sit here? Yeah. Sit down with mommy. So he was coming to Africa for the first time. And I was like, if he's coming to Africa for the first time, I want to make it memorable. And he's actually coming to see me.
For your birthday?
For my birthday. So if this relationship does not work, he would always remember Africa for the bad things, because I wasted my money, I wasted my time. That's what I was thinking. So I said, you know what? I'm going to make his trip memorable. And instead of him thinking he's coming to just see me on my birthday, I'm going to make this like a visit to Kenya, and he will do touristic things. Kenya is a beautiful country. We have all amazing things that you can do here. And I'm a travel junkie. I love traveling. And I also run a tours and travel agency. So I was like, let me do that. Let me organize, because he was going to be here for 1 week. I was like, let me organize something nice, a good itinerary for him to enjoy. So I went down and created that itinerary. I was consulting on him and asking him, would you like to do this? What are the things you like for adventure and all that? And from there I was able to come up with a good itinerary for 1 week. And so when he landed, I was like, there's no need for me to take him to a hotel or anything. I was like, since I have a place, there's no need. I said I do not advise, because the dating sites are not what they used to be back then. Things have become worse. More people have gotten a wind of the dating sites, and so it's a bit more dangerous now.
So how was that week program like?
So the 1 week program, when he landed, we spent 2 days in Nairobi, and I took him to all the Nairobi touristic places. So we went to what do you call it? We went to David Sheldrick. It's the elephant orphanage. I took him to...
No.
Can you stop, please? Mikey, I don't like what you're doing. Do you want to sit here? Mommy has to record. Okay? So we went to David Sheldrick, the elephant orphanage. From there we went to Nairobi National Park. And then the second day I took him to Kazuri, where they make the beads, the factory beads. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, and then from there we had lunch. No, we went to Kitengela Glass House, and then from there we had lunch. And then the third day we went to we took the SGR because it was pretty new, so I took him to the SGR. I wanted him to see the good side of Kenya, you know, not that we have bad side. Kenya is a beautiful country. So we took the SGR to Mombasa, and we went to my hometown, Watamu. I remember his first reaction when we got to Watamu. First, it's too hot, so he doesn't like heat, but just after we put our bags, I told him I want to take him somewhere. So there's this coral reef we have in Watamu where you go stand and you can see the ocean and the breeze hitting you and the water hitting the coral reef, and it's beautiful. So I took him there, and I remember him just standing there and he's like, this is beautiful. I was like, yes. You know, I was like, at least he will not think of, oh, I came to see Marion and we broke up, and you know, he would always think of, you know, all these things he has done. Yeah, so we did Watamu for like 2 days as well. 3.
I think it was 3. Yeah. So
he met my family, because I'd asked him if he's comfortable to meet my family, my mom, and he was the first man actually I took to my mom. So he was like, yeah, I mean, it's fine. So he met my family, he met my mom and my sister. You know, we enjoyed Watamu. There's so many things we can do there, touristic stuff. So honestly, that 1 week we did touristic things, and I feel like it was good because they always say if you want to, before you marry someone, travel with them. It will tell you what kind of person they are. So I felt like that also kind of, you know, made us know each other deeper and better. Yeah. And so after that it was my birthday, so we went for dinner, and I remember that day. Now he was still on Facebook. He's no longer there. He's growing old. So I remember that day he actually posted and said he's in a relationship with Marion. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, it's not official until it's on Facebook.
I was like, yeah, this sounds good. So yeah, I like that, and it was time for him to go back. Sadly, that's usually the sad part.
Yeah. Let me hear from you, Jacob. What impressed you landing here in Kenya? The culture experience, the people experience, and even about her. Did you got what you were expecting?
I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've lived in a couple different places. I've been to Germany. I was stationed there for 2 years, and I've been to Iraq for a year. So I had some perspective on different cultures. Here, I didn't know what to expect, but I was pleasantly surprised. The food was good. The people were friendly, and so one thing I noticed about Marion is that she's very efficient, and she just keeps things flowing. Even if something, like, you remember that trip? I forgot where we went. We were in that van, and the axle broke, and so we were like broke down on the side of the road. You remember that one?
But yeah. That was after. It wasn't the first.
Yeah. So that was way. But even moments like that where something goes wrong, it's like Marion's like, oh well, we're gonna move on to the next thing, and she just keeps it flowing. I love that. Some people, something goes wrong and it's the end of the world, and so the other person is like, it's okay, you know, you're having to reassure them that it's all right.
And that's why you need to travel with someone before you marry them, because then you get to see what they would do in, you know, adversities. Yes.
Yeah.
Because travel doesn't go as planned. Every time you travel, something changes.
And that's going back to the military. Nothing ever goes according to the plan either. You're always having to improvise. And so with her, if something goes wrong, she's like, oh well, we'll move on to the next thing. And so I love that. And she's actually really funny. So we started like making little jokes about stuff. There was this one time. Okay. So going back to what she was talking about, meeting her mom and her sister and stuff.
How was that? Yeah.
Woo. Okay, so I was a little nervous because, you know, my past experiences meeting parents, they're either gonna really like you or they're gonna hate your guts and they're gonna want to murder you on the spot. Thankfully, Marion's mom was very friendly. She fed me a lot, and I was like, this feels like I'm at my house. This is like when I go to my grandparents' house. My grandma, the first thing she would do is, "Ay, mijo, are you hungry? Are you hungry? We got tortillas. We got blah, 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 blah. I'll get you something and this and that." And then the plate is enough to feed like all of us. So her mom was very accommodating, and I loved her mom. Her mom was really sweet. And I remember the first time I tried their tea, I'm expecting cold tea because that's what we drink in Texas, in the States. And so when she's pouring it in the cup and I see all the, I'm already sweating bullets because it's hot. And I'm like, well, I can't just say no. And so I'm drinking hot tea. I'm sweating even more.
And you're nervous.
And I'm super nervous, yeah. But everything went fine. Like, we chit chat, and I just kept eating because I was nervous. Drinking tea. I was like, yeah, I'm so full right now. And then, yeah. So that's one thing I loved about, or that I still love about Kenyan cultures. They're very friendly, very accommodating, and yeah. So like, they'll just talk, like it's fine.
And what did you love most about her? That first meeting.
Oh my God. She's super sweet. So sweet. Oh my goodness. She gave me hugs, gave me little kisses. I'm like, aw. And so and in fact, the first night, she even fed me, like she gave me food. And at first I really wasn't that hungry because on the flight, like they constantly feeding you. Constantly feed, especially Qatar. They'll give you the main meals and then snacks in between. It's pretty full. And so he was like, okay, I'm not just gonna let it sit. So I ate a little bit, and that's when I discovered, it's like, oh my gosh, you can cook. Hell yeah. And so I demolished that plate. Absolutely demolished that plate. I think it was like chicken and rice. It was something simple, but it was so freaking good. I'm getting hungry thinking about it. Did you give me a chapati?
It was rice.
It was just the rice and chicken? Well,
Chicken stew.
either way.
Chapati was at home.
Yeah. That's the first time I had it. I was like, oh, these are just like tortillas. This is nice. And so it really wasn't a whole adjusting to stuff. Like, it was very familiar. And that's why I realized, like, okay, there's a lot of similarities between our cultures. I think this is going to be great. It's going to be good. And then, like I said, she's very sweet, and she makes me laugh.
Okay. And what did you love most about him first meeting?
Well, I found him to be okay. At first felt like it was a bit too much, but he was too touchy. Like, the first time I've picked him from the airport, we're in the taxi, and he's just there all over, I'm like, dude, you don't even know me. But I guess because of how we'd spoken, maybe he felt like, he knew me. So that first time it was kind of like too much, because I don't like PDA, I'm like, yeah, but I've grown to just get used to it and, realize his love language is, physical touch. So, I just realized that's who he is. Like I told you, he's a plain book. There's nothing, secretive about him. I like that, he's also like sweet. He would compliment, like when he was having the food. Oh, you should have seen his reaction. I was like, I felt like I'd cooked, I don't know what, and I'd not even made my favorite meal. I just decided to just make him rice and some big chicken stew. But the way he was just eating and appreciative, I like how intentional he is, or he was at that point, and he still is very intentional. And he's a provider. Of course, I was taking him around Kenya with his money. So when I would tell him, because when I was doing the itinerary, I was just like trying to I know the cost and everything, so I had estimated how much we were gonna spend. When I told him about it, he was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And that's, he came with the money and, it was there. So it was just us picking. Every morning we'll pick, okay, so how much we need today, we'll pick and we'll go. So I like that, about him. And the fact that I had planned things and we went and did them and he was enjoying them, that also spoke so much about him to me. Because I like traveling. If you meet someone who does not like traveling and you're a traveler, it can be constraining. It can be very constraining. So I really loved that he was enjoying the adventures, and you can see genuinely he's not just saying it just to make you feel good. No, he was genuinely having a good time. So I loved that about him. Honestly, it was a good 1 week. Yeah. And of course, after you've been posted on Facebook, what else do you want?
And then after that 1 week, what happened?
Man, I had to go back.
He has to go back.
I hated it.
Yeah.
That's always the hardest part, though. Yeah. Like I've been back and forth here since we've been married.
2019.
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
You went back.
Yeah, had to go back.
How long? You came back after how long?
Oh, it wasn't long at all.
Yeah.
I think what was it?
Like some I think 2 or 3 months, because he left in September and he came back in December.
Okay.
So October, November, December. 2019.
Yes.
2019. He left 2019 September. He came back 2019 December.
Yes.
Yeah.
To do what?
To spend time with to spend Christmas with me.
Okay.
Yeah. So he spent 10 days.
In December. Then, maybe did you propose or what happened after that?
I don't think I proposed in December.
He didn't propose. He didn't propose in December. It was January. I think it was January 2020. Yeah.
I remember now. At the time, I didn't have the ring, and so what my plan was, when I got back the first time, I was like, okay, how much is this going to be? What do I need to do? How much overtime do I need to put in? How much? I was planning already. And then, okay, so at my job, I had a friend who was from Tanzania, and I told her about Marion, and she mentioned the dowry.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, no. I didn't ask. I was like, am I supposed to ask? And so she told me how that worked. And she's like, yeah, you need to find out how much the dowry is, because you give that to the family because you're taking a member away. I was like, oh. He was like, well, I'm not really taking it. It was like, it's a tradition. I was like, okay. And so, when did I actually ask you?
So, January after he went back, that's when he was telling me he's talking to his friend from Tanzania, and the friend was telling her about him about dowry. It's a she, and she was telling her she was telling him, if you're serious about this girl, you need to know that in Africa we pay dowry, so you need to start preparing for dowry. And so he got curious, so he asked me, Nunu is telling me that, if, I want to take things serious, I have to pay dowry. So how much is your dowry? So he asked me. I was like, oh, well, that's not something you get to know. Like, I have to ask maybe an uncle or my mom, because it's not something I know. And he was like, okay, so you can ask them so we know. I'm like, okay, sawa. So I go to my mom, of course. I'm not trying to preempt a lot. So I'm like, if someone is to pay dowry, how much is my dowry? And so my mom is like, well, even me, I don't know. You have to speak to your uncle. So she sends me to my uncle. Now, African uncles, you can't just beat around the bush. You have to be very straight and say what's happening. So now I go to my uncle. I'm like, if someone is to pay dowry, how much is my dowry? So that's when my uncle was like, that's something you need to sit down and discuss and talk and come up with something. So I was like, okay, sawa. So he asked me first, like, are you seeing someone? I was like, yeah, and where he's from. So I told him he's not from Kenya, and he was like, okay. So I went back to him now with the feedback and said, see, the thing is they need to sit down and agree on, the dowry. And he was like, okay, you can let them sit and tell us. So I was telling him, it's rude in Africa to make people sit and you're not feeding them, you're not giving them some incentive. So I was like, we need money. And he's like, so how much do you need? Again, provider. So I was like, let me do the budget and tell you. So of course I do the budget of like just hosting my uncle, my mom, and I was like, yeah, I'll need this and this much. So I tell him and he's like, okay, I'll send it to you. So he sends me the money. I was like, dude, if I call my uncle now here, this shit is going down, there's no turning back here. If we involve uncles, it's a serious business. And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay. So I tell my uncle to come, we sit down. My uncle came, we sat, we agreed, and whatever figure they gave me, I told him. And he texted me back, because we're just texting, because he's already left. So I tell him the figure and he's like, okay, I could swing that. That's not bad. So when he said that, I was like, fine. So we went on with our business, went on to just talk as boyfriend and girlfriend, because he'd already introduced me as his girlfriend on Facebook. So me and him, we're in a relationship.
I know, right?
So, and he was like, I'll try and send you the money next month. So that's February. I was like, okay.
So you're supposed to pay dowry, or he's supposed to fly with his family members?
So yeah, he's supposed to fly to come pay the dowry.
Yes.
But he wanted me to have the money.
All right.
Yeah. So I remember February, one of those days I just wake up and I have a notification. At that time he had already started sending me money. He would take care of some stuff here and there. So he already had my PayPal account. And so I wake up and I find a notification, you have money from Jacob. And it's a huge sum of money. I was like, huh? And so usually when you're sending money on PayPal, you write what it's for. And so it says for dowry. I was like, okay. Looks like we're going. Looks like things are getting serious. And so when I woke up, of course I called him and we spoke. And he's like, yeah, so that's dowry money. When I come down, of course, now we'll go give it. Yeah. So we started. At that point now, if someone is ready to pay dowry, it's happening. Yeah. So he was like, when do you think it's a good time for us to get married and stuff? And we started planning for the wedding to be in April
2020 now.
Yeah, so that he can come once, do the payment of the dowry and the wedding, all at once.
Traditional wedding or?
No, we'd chosen to do the court wedding. So of course all of us know what happened in 2020. Yeah. So March, that's when Uhuru Kenyatta, then the former president, locked down the country, remember, and international travel could not happen. So I tell him about it, and we were a bit sad because it was exciting, and so we went into lockdown. Yeah, and I think that lockdown time was a good time also because it also built us. You can imagine you're on a high, you're planning a wedding, everything seems like it's flowing, and then all of a sudden the universe shuts, So you can imagine we're on a high, planning a wedding, planning all these nice things, and then all of a sudden the universe locks you out. Yeah, so I think it was good because, going through the lockdown, it also strengthened our relationship. That was 8 months of just, being in lockdown. He can't travel, we just depend on the phone and everything. But I think it just worked out. And then in August, that's when the president now lifted up the ban. And, I remember that day I was so excited. I was at work, and when I saw the breaking news, I was like, oh my God, this is something I need to tell Jacob. So, I call him, I tell him about it, and it's like, oh, nice. So when should we reschedule the wedding for? Because we had slotted the wedding for April. So we're like, we can do September. It's like, yeah, September is my birthday, so works perfect. So, when we decided for September and even chose a date, September 4th is the anniversary. Actually, we just celebrated our 5th year wedding anniversary. So September 4th, and, he booked his flight then that day, and, he came down. So he was here for, I think, a month and a half, close to 2 months. during that time, just to
Right.
cover up the missed
Yeah.
the lost time.
So he was coming for dowry,
Yes.
wedding,
Yes.
and also your birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a busy month.
Yeah.
Busy month.
How was
And
the
baby making.
Yeah.
Because we had planned. We were like, no, we want to get the baby right away. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So for events.
4 events in 1 month.
Yeah, very busy month.
Yeah.
How was it?
The wedding?
The
COVID time.
maybe the COVID time, the dowry process, and why did you travel alone? And you, the process, your parents and
Right. Oh, okay. So nobody in my family had their passport. My dad, he's scared of needles. He doesn't want to get a shot. And my mom couldn't leave because she was still working and going. She's still in school for her. I want to say it's her master's in nursing, and nursing school over there is very intensive. So she couldn't really take the time off. Nobody in my family had a passport or the money to fly, stay, and then come back. So we just agreed to say, hey, we'll just make some videos. We're taking them marry and put them in a video in the wedding, and then that'll be as though they also participated. So they weren't left out. We found a way for them to be included. The dowry process was it was new. I didn't know what to expect. I knew like what a dowry was and what had to happen, but I didn't know the
process.
yeah, I didn't really know the process. I was more relying on her to sort of guide me through it.
And how was it?
It was cool. It was nice. Like it wasn't. I don't know what the word is for it. It wasn't nerve-wracking. It wasn't complicated. You just you present the dowry. Papa Bear. Dowry. It was simple. She just told me like what I needed to do, and I got it done. It was nice.
What were you supposed to give?
I don't remember the amount.
It was just money. We agreed on
Yeah.
money because my uncle was like, he's not from here. So if you start putting cows issues and all that, it's gonna be a whole, complex thing. And that's something I like about my family. Like they're just easy goers, they're easy people. So we just came up with just a token, and
Yeah.
What stood out on that day?
We had a whole little gathering for that, didn't we?
No, the thing is, we combined them. So the dowry was paid today, and then the wedding was tomorrow. So really, we didn't have two ceremonies.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it was traditional wedding or
court wedding. Yeah, so it was a court wedding. We went to Sharia house, got married, and then we had lunch at a hotel. Yeah,
with your family members?
with the family members.
How was the process of dowry? The paperwork? How was it?
Dowry?
I mean,
the
sorry,
marriage.
the marriage.
It wasn't bad because what happens is the embassy. So now, in the case of him, it will be the U.S. embassy will guide you, but also Sharia house will guide, just to protect you guys. Because you're getting married to a foreigner, there's different requirements as opposed to if I was getting married to a Kenyan man, and then. Usually when you're getting married, you're supposed to be gazetted that, you're getting married. Yeah, it's supposed to be gazetted. But if you do not want to be gazetted, then you do the special license and you pay more for it. So we chose the special license, of which most international or interracial couples, that's what happens. You just go for the special license because then there's no time for, gazette, 21 days, nini. So that's what happened. We did the special license. I'd gone to Sharia house like 3 months prior to the wedding and just gotten a list of. I met a very good guy there, by the way. He was like, if you want to get married, these are what you need. And he told me, I was writing down, and I made sure I had those things. And then he also needed something on his end, but he could get them it from the embassy. And so once the embassy gives you that, you're good to go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It wasn't a complex thing. And then, in Kenya, there's ways to make the process easier. People don't like it, but it is what it is. Yeah.
Shoot.
And the baby making process, did it happen?
Yeah, it did.
Man.
This boy is the same age with our marriage.
She wouldn't leave me alone.
So yeah, we actually call him a honeymoon baby.
Yeah.
This one. Anafinya hii. Ko sawa? No baba. Stop. Eat your bread. Yeah, so baby making went well. Sit. Sit. Do you want to eat bread?
Good boy.
Oh yeah, baby making went well. This is our honeymoon baby. We conceived immediately actually. We didn't struggle as much like with this one. This one was a whole lot of struggle. Yeah, so I feel like those 2 months were really good, and then he stayed with me until I was 6 weeks pregnant. Because then it was challenging. First trimester of pregnancy is not easy. So he stayed until I was 6 weeks pregnant, and then that's when he left. Yeah.
Okay.
And then after he left, he went and filed for my visa now, because we had decided to live in the US. So he had to start the process. It's a whole process, which we didn't think at the time it's gonna take long, but it ended up taking so long because of COVID.
How many years?
3 years.
Yeah. That is now 2021, 22, 2023. Meaning you gave birth here in Kenya.
Yes. So when he went back in after our wedding. He went back in I think October-ish, November-ish to the US, and then in December he started filing for the process. So it's called CR1,
the petition,
conditional relative visa. So it's a marriage visa or spousal visa where you file for your significant other. You have to go through USCIS. That's the first body in the US. So he submits documents, marriage certificate, things to show that he can be able to support me when I go there. And then from there, the process moves to me. I also submit my documents. And then from there, now we go to the embassy for interview. The interview that everything you've submitted is true and correct. You're not lying or doing marriage fraud. Yeah, and then they issue the visa. Most times it's not denied. Marriage visas most times are not denied. It's very rare you find the way visit visas are denied. Marriage visa, it will take long, but you get it. So we filed 2020 December, and I got my visa in 2023. No, January 2024. Right? Yeah. No, December 2023. December 2023 is when I got the visa. Yes. December 2023, and then we decided I fly out in February. Yeah, so I traveled February 2024.
Back to motherhood.
Yeah.
How was it taking care of your pregnancy alone and
He's not there. Yeah. So it wasn't so bad because I was here, I had help, I had my family, so it wasn't that much of a challenge. The only thing is I missed that because it was my first pregnancy, and I hear women saying, oh, you crave ice cream or pizza at 6 a.m. or midnight and you send your husband. So that was just the aspect that I missed, that I cannot, that you can't go nagging your auntie or your brother at you want pizza and it's 12 a.m. So that nagging of, oh, he's the husband, you can nag him. That's the only part that I missed. But thank God for video calls, thank God for the phone. So that made it easier. Yeah, for me, honestly, I wouldn't say it was challenging.
Even the parenting.
Yeah, because so for the birth, when it was time to give birth, he came and he stayed with me for 2 months. And you see, those 2 months are usually the challenging time. And then I was also with my mom. My sister was also there. So it wasn't really such much of an issue. I got the help. And even when he left, by the time he was leaving, the baby was almost 3 months. I think at 3 months with the help.
Yeah. At what point did you introduce her to your family?
I forgot who you talked to first. Was it my mom?
Yeah, but on Facebook.
Yeah, so it was before we got married. I introduced her to my mom through a video call. And so they chit-chat for a while. They got to know each other. one thing in my family is between my aunt, my sister, and my mom. If you tell one, you tell the entire family. And so as long as I got one of them, everybody knew. Everybody's asking questions. Oh, who's this girl? Oh, she's on Facebook. Oh, good. And so they're looking her up. I didn't get a whole lot of like pushback from my family. They were actually very supportive. They loved Marion. They liked the way she is, her demeanor. She's very polite and courteous. Like, oh, Jake, she's so cute. She's gorgeous, and oh, she's she's very well spoken, and so she was a hit with my family, and like that to me that was hugely important. As far as attending the wedding, like I already knew they wouldn't be able to make it because of the passport thing, and because COVID was still very much in effect. But they took the time to make videos to send for our wedding, and to me, like that was, it really helped.
And having now interacted with the Americans, I've realized it's not something that's just special to his family. Because at that time I was like, how comes your family members don't have passports? Like having interacted now with Americans, you realize Americans, most of them don't travel. Like most of them, you find someone has still lived in the same state, gone to school, gotten married, they even die there. Like they don't usually travel. I think they've been brought up to believe America has it all. You don't need to travel outside the world to see anything. You can stay in America and it's the best. It's the best world. It's the best country in the world. So why do I want to travel anywhere else? Yeah, and it's also expensive to travel. So with that, you find most people don't really have passports. Like even you applied your passport when?
Whew.
Maybe when you're going to the to Iraq or Iran.
No, with mine I think it was before I'd met you.
Yeah.
Because it was a long process.
Yeah. So it's very rare to find an American with a passport and one who has traveled.
Yeah.
Most of them don't travel.
And when did you travel?
It's February 2024.
How was it?
It was good. I mean, I love to travel, so that was
Alone?
with him. Yeah. So it was good, and he also likes to travel. He likes to be just out and about, so that makes it easier. I love traveling. He's my best travel partner. So we had a good time. I was excited. It was going to be my first international trip. I'd been traveling just within Kenya and Africa. So this one was going to be, outside of Africa, and it was good. I was looking forward to it. But I was also excited that we get to close the distance. Yeah, because we had now been doing long distance from 2019 to 2024. Yeah, so I was excited, and then there was that excitement of finally now we beat the visa process, because it was a challenging time. That was one of those things that rocked our marriage. And I keep telling him I'm grateful that we survived it, because being in that process for 3 years, I have seen couples that have divorced because of the process. It is very bad. It's too bad or very bad that we even have a support group, during that process, because if you don't do that, if you don't get to know what's going on, then you end up thinking you're the only one going through that, and you get more depressed.
Actually, I think that helped too.
Yeah, and then you're also putting your life on hold. There's this thing of, we're going to America. So you put your life on hold. Pretty much that's what I did. You can't buy a spoon, you can't buy anything, because you're going to America, But then you realize you're putting your life on hold. Actually, if I knew, and that's what I keep telling everybody who comes to me and they're like, asking for advice. I tell them, if you've just started the process for a US marriage visa, not any other country, because it's only in America and it's only Africa. Anybody doing the marriage visa in Spain, whatever, Canada, they don't go through these issues. It's only an African problem. So I always tell them, do not put your life on hold. You want to go back to school? Go back to school. You want to have kids? Have kids. Don't put your life on hold waiting for the American marriage visa, because you feel it. Yeah.
First impression, landing in America?
I loved it. I actually loved it. It was pretty. I like the infrastructure. The roads are like really, especially Dallas. Oh my God. Because I've had other people, who live in America, they also complement the Dallas infrastructure. So I really loved that, just seeing all the underpass, overpass. It was exciting. You can imagine seeing Thika Road like 10-20 times. Yeah, so that was pretty much exciting. It was very cold. I remember the day we were landing, it was so cold.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
you arrived on our winter.
yeah, I was like, oh
I
my
feel bad for
gosh,
you.
this is so cold. Yeah, and
How
then
was it for him, the boy?
and him, he was excited. You know, the first thing he's seen daddy. Of course, he cried. He's a very emotional boy. So, of course, he cried when he saw daddy. But that excitement of just being with daddy now throughout, and he's not seeing daddy on video call only, he was pretty much excited. Actually, I was the one who got sick. He did not get sick. Yeah, I actually got sick when I landed because, you know, change of climate, Nini. Yeah. So it took me like 1 week just being, you know, there's the jet lag as well.
And how was food there?
Chineke meu.
To this day, I don't think we've
We still
found
fight
anything
about
that she
food.
likes. Except, what was it? Except Chick-fil-A.
Chinese cuisine and what? Chick-fil-A, yes, and Popeyes or Poppies.
Popeyes?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, so it's a chicken place.
It's a chicken place.
Yeah, fried chicken.
You'd think KFC is good because I was like, since I've been enjoying KFC in Kenya, let me go
Oh,
eat KFC
man.
there. I told him, take me to his family. I was like, take me to KFC, and they all look at me. They're like, ew. I was like, why? I'm like, no, we don't want to eat KFC. So I said, I want to see why they don't want to eat KFC. So I went to try KFC, and I'm like, why is KFC in Africa tasting better than where KFC started?
Y'all just do it better, man. Y'all just do it better.
It's terrible. I don't know. Somebody needs to explain that to us.
So, here's what I found. They changed the recipe so much in the States. It's not the same chicken anymore. There's no quality control. There's no care. There's no love. There's nothing.
And I think also the chicken itself.
Yeah. Over here, it's different. Like, it's fresh. The skin is still crispy. You still have the flavors, and the chicken is still juicy. Over there, you could tell it's been sitting there for a while.
Yeah.
And it's gross.
And you know, he used to tell me every time he'll come to Kenya, we'll go to KFC. And he'll be like, hey, the KFC here is so good, it's not like America. And I'm like, but it's KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's from Kentucky. What do you mean? I never used to understand until I tasted it myself. I was like...
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe it's just, I keep saying food is an acquired taste. He doesn't like ugali, you know. So I feel like it's an acquired taste. Maybe with time I'll get used to it, but it's really challenging. Food was one of the major things I struggled with.
And the boy?
For him, you know, kids adapt so fast. Him, he was good. Him, I think, as long as he has dad and mom, that's it. Yeah, so he didn't have an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the people around?
People are good. I found Americans very good. Let me say Texans. Let me say Texans, because it also depends, because the US is big. Those states are like countries. They're very diverse. So because I've not traveled outside of Texas, let me say Texans so that people don't come for me in the comment section. So Texans are good people. They're warm, they're friendly. You know, they're sweet, they'll smile. It's a fake smile, but still a smile, you know. It's a smile of and then they go back, you know, but it's still a smile. They take the effort to smile, you know. So yeah, I've also learned to give the fake smile and we move.
Yeah, why are you calling it fake smile?
I don't know, I feel like it's a fake smile because it's, you know, that smile of you're not smiling, you see me and then you go back. Yeah, it feels fake to me.
So the way I'll explain it is,
yeah, maybe there's a good
it's
one.
not, I smile to acknowledge you, even though I don't know you, because I'm just trying to pass through without incident. If you don't smile at somebody and you look at them for longer than a second, to us it's a sign of confrontation. Like, either you're gonna do something or you're thinking about, you know, like attacking or whatever, or you're crazy. So the smile is sort of that disarming. Yeah, he's like, hey, you know, I'm just, hey, how you doing? I'm just passing through. You know, you have a nice day. But if there is no smile, and they make eye contact with you, and they're not smiling, it's usually a sign of confrontation.
Okay. And culture shock, did you experience any? Like?
Well, I have a whole book I need to write.
Give us two main.
So I think we've spoken about food. That was big. Coming from corporate Kenya to corporate America, because I've seen a lot of people once they go to the US they want to get into nursing, but I feel like nursing is a calling and it's not my calling. So I knew I didn't want to do nursing, and so I was trying to explore more of the corporate world, and so I was getting culture shocks in the corporate world as well. Some are good, or some are good culture shocks, but you realize there's a lot of things that America does that we don't do in Kenya, or there's the things Kenya we do that are not done in America. So case in point, things like time management. You find over there they work with hours, and every hour is money, and every hour you're not working there's no money coming in. Unlike where in Kenya you're paid a full month salary, so whether you come in or not, your monthly salary is not affected. And then that now also ties down to when you get sick over there. It's so hard, especially if you're new, you're starting. If you get sick, you still force yourself to go to work, because then you'll be like, if I don't go to work, one of my bills is affected, or my money is being affected. When it comes to also taking care of women, I realized corporate America is also not so kind as much. So they don't have things like maternity leave. It's there, but it's not like Kenya. So you find in Kenya, I had I'm done. Okay. Like in Kenya with this one, because I was still working, I got 3 months paid 100% of my salary for 3 months. When I was still working with this one, when I asked around for the maternity leave so I can start planning myself, I was told I get 6 weeks unpaid maternity leave. 6 weeks. I was like, okay, so what happens after 6 weeks? You come back to work. Like, so I have to take my baby to daycare at 6 weeks. So that didn't sit so well with me, and I did my research. I realized very few states in the US offer paid maternity leave. And if you don't get that, then you have to pray that you get a good employer who values that kind of thing, because it's not a law. It's not required by law, the federal law, to pay women for maternity. So that came as a shock to me. Generally, life is also very expensive there. At some point I sat down and I was like, and the grass is not greener on the other side, The grass is greener where you water it. Life is pretty expensive there. You find the things that we enjoy here and take for granted, like the social networking, the community that we have. You can knock. I have my neighbors knocking here and they're telling me, oh, my token is out, please help me load it. Or your neighbor can come here and say, oh, give me salt or give me kiberiti. Those are things you don't do there. I've lived there for 1 year. I cannot tell you the name of my neighbor or our neighbor. I only see him walk his dog out and he comes back in, and that's it. So we don't have, for me, the conclusion I made was, the Western world is rich money-wise, but Africa, we are rich on the other things, socially. And I feel like that is pretty much more important, as compared to money, because you can be poor. You see, sometimes you go to the villages and you find the kids playing, they're really enjoying themselves, you go to the villages, they don't even have work, but they're so happy, they go to the farm, they take their food, you cannot get that in the West. And it is who we are as a people, and it's a good thing, it's an admirable thing. I just hope and pray that more people can appreciate that, and we stop really wanting to chase that thing of in the West and West, because and then I think finally culture shocks is, I realized also, because of how life is there, mentally most people are not okay. Most people are not okay. So you find people struggling with different mental issues, like people being on pills for they're called antidepressants. It's such a common thing.
Anxiety.
Anxiety.
Sleep.
And they talk about it so casually. Oh, I have anxiety, so I'm taking my anxiety medicine. No, over here you don't talk about those things, you know. So that was quite a shock. I remember
we talk about them like we talk about our cars.
I know. I remember.
Oh yeah, I took that. I didn't like it, so I switched over to this. I feel great.
Yeah, I remember seeing like pills on desks in the office, and I'm asking people, why do you guys have pills on the desk? You know, like for us, you don't even pull pills, you know, and people just popping and popping. I'm like, it's. Oh man, yeah. I still need shock absorbers. That's why I decided to just come to Kenya for a bit, because it was overwhelming.
So when did you came back?
So we came in May. I came in May first. I was pregnant at the time with him, 8 months, and then he joined us
July.
July. Yeah.
How was it traveling back, and why did you come back?
It was so good. My God, I had actually wanted to initially travel in December, but they ended up convincing me to stay, because at that point I was losing my mind. I think culture shock plus homesickness can get you depressed.
Yep.
So I was feeling like I'm losing it. But then he was like, you know, it is your first Christmas in the US, you know, just stay so we celebrate Christmas. I was like, okay. So after that I was like, once summer comes and they close school, I'm going. And you know, because of everything, we had also decided that I'm just gonna get the baby here instead of the US. So that was also why you know, I came back.
How does that happen? If you get a baby here, will she, or it's he?
It's a he.
Get papers, or how does that happen?
Yeah, he will get his papers, because luckily with citizenship, it's based on the parents. Yeah. So if you're both green card holders, that's when it becomes an issue, because then you have to stay in the US to get the papers. But if one of you is a citizen or both of you are citizens, you just, whichever country you give birth in, you just go to the embassy and you know, report that you've given birth, and they'll process a birth certificate for you and a passport for the child. So that process is called CRBA, Child Report of Birth Abroad. You just go to the website. If you've given birth in Ghana, just go to the US Embassy in Ghana website and look for CRBA and do the process. So over here is the same thing, and that's what we did with him. So it was easier for me to choose that route, you know, over, see, like I've told you, I was not mentally okay. Now here I am pregnant with a baby coming, and there's no help there. It's just me and him. His family is 4 hours drive. The stress of, you know, this one, there's no help. You have to be the one doing everything. He's going back to work. I was like, it's gonna be too much. So I didn't want to set myself up for postpartum depression. I was like, it's gonna be easier here. I have help. It's, you know, it's slow paced here. I don't have to worry so much about stuff. And you know, once baby is old enough, we can go back, and he still gets his papers. There's nothing lost. Yeah.
Have you experienced US hospitals or maybe healthcare?
Yes, I have.
How is it compared to Kenyan healthcare?
Where?
Yeah, tell her. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Where? For me, I felt like it's a scam.
Which one is it?
Insurance.
First, the insurance, because you need insurance to survive. You cannot survive without insurance. The way the insurance there works is completely, I still don't understand it even to date.
So like, so they take money out of my check every month to pay for this insurance. And when we have to use that insurance on something, anything, could be a cold, go to the clinic, I give them my insurance card. I still have to pay a copay. I still have to pay a deductible. I still have to pay that clinic and the insurance. If something big happens, like say I need surgery for something, they'll only pay 80% because I chose to pick that plan. There's one where they only pay 70.
1 minute then.
Yeah.
Sit.
So, yeah, 1 minute. So, we pay insurance in the hopes that they'll take care of us, but they really don't. And then if you file a claim, good luck with that. You could have all your paperwork. You do everything right. And they'll still deny it. So over there, it's almost accepted that insurance is a scam. They're not going to help you, and that you're only paying them so that you don't get fined by the government for not having insurance, or that the hospital can give you the care that you need so that you can live. And it's gotten so bad that I think it was like 2-3 years ago, there was a CEO of what was it?
An insurance company.
Yeah. A guy that CEO was shot outside of a hotel going to a meeting at 7 a.m, and not a single person cared. They cared more, or they applauded the shooter, and the guy, they would just make jokes like, our thoughts and prayers, we would offer our thoughts and prayers, but that's outside of network or something. Because usually that's what happens in the States. If you go to a doctor that's not within their little network, you pay more. You go to one that is in network, you still pay, just not as much, but you're still paying. When insurance doesn't really cover a whole lot. You file a claim, it gets denied. You keep filing until they say, okay, yeah, we'll accept your claim, but we're going to drag our feet processing it. So some people actually die waiting for their claim to be processed.
It's a whole, coming from Kenya where I'm used to insurance working differently, you know. It was really such an I remember the first time we went to the hospital, and already I know how much we're paying for insurance, like $800 per month for the three of us or for the family. And they're asking me for money, and I'm like, see, I've given you an insurance card, why do you want money? And so they start explaining to me, oh, you have to pay the copay and all that. Like, anything happens to you, they will only pay 80% or 70%, depending on the package that you have. Then you pay the 20 or 30. So you're still paying them for insurance per month, but every time you get sick or the baby gets sick, you still pay. So it's a whole complex thing. Until to date, I never understand. And then they limit you.
So it was easier for you to come and do that.
It was easier for me. Yeah, and then also the fact that it's just stressful with the child. Daycare is expensive there. Like, there was just too many things combined. I was like, I'm not ready for...
We're paying like close to $800 a month just to send our son to daycare.
Back to marriage life. How was it living together as a couple now for the first time?
Yeah.
As a couple.
It was challenging.
Yeah.
It was challenging.
Boy.
You know, now we're used to that honeymoon thing of, oh, he comes. Of course, when he's coming, you can't fight because it's just good times, you know. Now you move to, oh, you're living together. So it's challenging. You have to adapt, you know, to how he does things, how I do things.
What was hard for you?
Like having to, you know, like me, I'm a perfectionist. So I like my things in a certain way, you know. If I've made this couch like this, I need it to stay like that. If you mess it up when you're standing, move it. So I'm still fighting about that, because then you have to tone it down a bit, because then now even the kids have come. So perfectionism does not work when you have kids. So that became a challenge. And then in the US, everything is just chap, 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 chap. He's working, now I'm also working, and there's no house help. So we are the ones to do the house chores. So he has to chip in, you know, he has to help. And you find sometimes it's a bit challenging because he's working rotating shifts. This week he's working these hours, next week is different hours. So it becomes a bit hard for him to even keep up with, you know, some of the housework to assist. So, you know, kuna a bit of, you know, challenge there. Yeah, so it's just being mature enough to understand that we are not the same. We're not from the same mother, you know, and we'll clash. But at the end of the day, you just know what's the bigger picture. You know, why did you choose to be together? Why are you here? And I'm learning to overlook also, you know, that perfectionism. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because you end up being more annoyed. Yeah. And he's not doing it to make you annoyed. That's one thing I used to think. He's doing things to make me angry. But no, you know, he got to a point he kept telling me, I'm not doing it on purpose, you know. Yeah, so it's it's a whole lot of adjusting, but at the end of the day, you look at the bigger picture. And I like that he's always very intentional. And like I said, he's one honest person. So once something happens and he knows something has happened, and he's always the first one to apologize, and he's quick to apologize. So that makes it easier, because he will do something and be like, no, look, and you would see it's genuine. So that makes it easier.
And you, Jacob, what was hard for you living with her as your wife?
Oh
Man.
my God.
So the perfectionist thing. Oh my God. I would be told probably 20 times about one thing, or I do something, I'm trying to help her, and she had to go back and do it, and then she'll tell me what I did wrong, and I was like, okay, cool. Okay, got it. And then next time I do it, no, this goes here, not over here. I was like, okay. One of the things that, oh man, there was one thing that she would do, and it would frustrate me to no end. It was the microwave. I didn't understand why she left the door open every time. And me, I'm used to, you close the microwave when you're done with it. And she says because she left it open because it'll have the smell. And I didn't say anything. It was like, but it's in a container. It's not. How is it gonna stink? I can't even smell it now. And I was like, okay, it's fine. Or the constant need for perfection, it irritates me, because I've always grown up, it's like, nothing's gonna be perfect. Just do it as best you can. And then the food thing I could understand. It was just really hard trying to find something she liked. And it wasn't just to satisfy her. It was because like I got a little worried. It's like she's not eating, and so now I was like, okay, I don't know how to cook Kenyan food. I don't really know how to do that. Bless you. But she did bring some stuff from Kenya, like spices and that flour that you make the ugali with. I tried cooking it one time. Disaster. But I never like pushed her to make American food. I was like, whatever you make, that's what we're gonna eat. And so I tried to be as accommodating and open the doors to freedom, and say, oh, she wants to have a license. Okay, cool. Let's go to your driver's license. We'll take my car. We'll go right around the block. Hey, you turn your turn signal here. You stop here. Just gently do this with the brake.
Oh, he taught me how to drive.
Yeah. In fact, funny story. She almost ran me over one time. That was fun. So we were learning how to park. We're in an elementary parking lot. School's out, so there's nobody around. And so I would show her how to park, and then she would try. She couldn't get in between the lines, so what I would do, I stepped out. I got in front of the car, and I guided her. And I got tired, so I sat down. And so she's coming in to park again. I was like, yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. Ay, stupid me. I should have stood up. So she accidentally, as she's coming in, I guess, she hit the gas.
The brakes.
Instead of hitting the brakes, she hit the gas and almost ran me over. I was so mad. I was a little mad. I got up. She had pinned me against the chain link fence behind me, and I had to scrape myself out. I went around and I opened the doors. Like, get out, just get out. But she ended up getting it. She took her driving test, passed with flying colors. She has her license now. She wants to go somewhere. She can. She's on my insurance, and so it's not like I say I take the keys whenever we fight. I was like, no, she needs the keys to go to the store, to go to work. I can't just do that to her, because then it's going to cause problems later on. And so with her living with us, I have to learn that she's not somebody I have to constantly take care of like a child, but I do have to provide her with things so that she can do things on her own.
Yes. So when are you planning to go back to the US? Or maybe you've relocated?
Next year I have to go back. At some point, we are going to come back to Kenya permanently to live. But right now, we're just building towards that. And so, yeah.
Okay. And now that you wanted 5 kids and you already have 2 kids, what's the plan?
We are not having 5 kids. We might have 1 or 2 more, but 5, I think, is outrageous.
It's pushing it.
Definitely pushing it.
How is parenting journey?
I think right now,
Yeah.
taking care of him is a lot easier. He's still getting his sleep cycle down. So what we've done is
remove his name.
oh yeah, sorry.
Don't
So
put his
tiny
name.
baby is still trying to get his sleep cycle down. So what we'll do is she'll usually be up, during the day, and then I'll sleep later on in the afternoon to be up at night, so that when he wakes up, I can feed him. I'll lay him down and watch TV, change him when he needs it. And then sometime in the morning around maybe 6 or 7, I'll take him to the room and lay him down because he's already fast asleep. And then she'll wake up a few hours later and just take it from there.
And what one thing would you love her to know about you that she don't know, and what you would love her to change?
Hold on, let me get my list. There was one thing that I wish she would have done more, was just be more patient and more understanding. But now, currently, she's achieved that, and so I don't really have any complaints or gripes about anything. Let's see, there was a second half to that question.
What would you love her to know about you that she don't?
That she doesn't know?
Yeah.
Whew, there's not a lot that she don't know.
Yeah, an open book.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't really try and hide anything from her, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you, Maria, what would you love him to change? Improve your life.
When I tell him something,
Yeah.
let him just do it the way I've said it.
Mm.
Yeah, and I don't know, I think it's just growing up. My mom would be like, if I tell you something more than 3 times, that warrants a beating. And so I've grown up with that. I'll only tell you 3 times. Even when I was at work, and I have people under me, I'd be like, I'm only doing it 3 times. I will show you something 3 times. When it comes to the 4th time, now you just don't want to get it. Yeah. So sometimes I struggle with that because, you're trying to show him something. Because we are from different places. So there's way things are done here. There's way things are done over there. So sometimes I try to show him and he'll still not get it. And I get so frustrated. I'm like,
And sweet
I can't beat you.
I would just laugh.
Yeah. And sweet words to him?
Sweet words to him. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I think I just want to say thank you for being very supportive. I know I'm privileged to live the life that I'm living now, and it's because you made it possible. You being accommodative, you being open, and you valuing my mental state and my happiness makes life easy. It's not so many men who would allow you to say, oh, you want to come give birth in your country, and they'll let you do it, So thank you for just allowing me to be me. Thank you for being secure enough to allow me to just be me. And me being me ensures that I bring in, 100% into the relationship, and everybody's happy. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And you, Jacob?
Just keeping it simple. I love you for loving me.
Aww.
Yeah. And you do make things a lot easier. You make life a lot easier. I don't have to worry about a lot of stuff that my other married friends are always complaining about. And it makes me realize, I lucked out. I lucked out. And then, everybody's happy. I mean, tiny baby's happy. He's happy. It's we don't really want for anything.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Nice. And I love you.
I love you too, baby.
Yeah.
It was nice having you on set. So, Marie, tell us more about your adventure. You like traveling. Yeah. You shared with me that you've traveled across Africa, heavily pregnant. Yeah. Let us know that.
So, I love traveling. I think I've always wanted to travel, just that at some point I didn't have money enough. So, when I started working, I picked up that passion now seriously. And out of it, I gave birth to YouTube. So I do travel vlogging on YouTube. And then from there, because I've been traveling and posting, people would ask me questions, on social media. And I was like, why am I giving people free information, So that's how my travel, tours and travel company was born.
What is it called?
Adventures of Marie, same name, and that's the same name I go by on YouTube and all social media handles, Adventures of Marie. And I knew I wanted to travel. So when I went to the US, 1 year I did not travel. Like, we only did, I think, 3 trips, which for me is not enough, because I was coming from doing a trip every weekend when I was still in Kenya. Every weekend I was on the road shooting content, because as a travel vlogger, you need to shoot, you need to travel to make content. So coming from traveling every weekend to now just 3 trips in a year, that was not enough. So I really felt like I need to travel. So I told him, when I come to Kenya, before I give birth, I want to do a trip. And just before I left for the US, I wanted to go to Zambia at the Devil's Pool to just hang there. Yeah, so I was like, this is the perfect time to do it before baby comes and I'm back in Kenya. So that's the trip. So me and my friend, we went. Usually I do budget travel. I'm the queen. Yes, by road. So I'm the queen of budget travel. So one of the ways to make budget travel is a road. So I remember there's a video I've done that went viral. I showed people how to go to Zanzibar by road. And from there, people going to Zanzibar started popping up a lot. At that time, people didn't know you can actually go to Zanzibar via road. So with this one, I wanted to go to the Devil's Pool, and I also wanted to go to walk with lions. There's a place where you walk with lions holding their tail like this. Yeah, so those were my cool 2 things that I wanted to do. So we went from Kenya, Tanzania. From Tanzania, we went to Zambia. From Zambia, we went to Zimbabwe. From Zimbabwe, we came back to Malawi. The plan was to go all the way to South Africa, but I realized my belly dropped, and I was like, hey, I could give birth any minute, because I was 34 weeks pregnant when I left Kenya. It was exciting, honestly. It was exciting. Surprisingly, people were more tired for me than I was for myself.
How many were you?
Now when you're traveling, you're in a public bus. Oh, yeah, but it was me and my friend. Yeah, my adventure friend. Yeah, so it was just 2. But of course, you meet people on the bus, you meet people at the stage.
Oh, you used bus?
Yeah,
not
we used
private
buses.
Cars.
No, we used public buses. So it was such an exciting journey. I would do it over and over again. Yeah. I wish I went all the way to South Africa, but I panicked. I was like, my time was dropping. So now women would be like, hey, the way we are seeing you could give birth any minute. So now that made me like, okay, let me just go back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to travel just like you travel, and you have a travel agency, talk to them. Let them know what you
Yeah, so they can reach me out on any of my social media handles. Adventures of Marie. TikTok is where most people, find me. Adventures of Marie. I post a lot of content there. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Adventures of Marie. And you come. I tell people I'm strictly a budget travel planner. So if you're more of the bougie travel, the luxury, I may not be really your person. But if you want to travel and you feel like you're on a budget, come, you're at the right place. And if you're not able to reach me on social media, I have a number as well. It's +254 752 241 321. That's my number. You can WhatsApp. You can WhatsApp us. Tell us where you want to go, and we can help you organize. And we also have Airbnbs that we are doing.
Where?
So our Airbnbs are in Watamu. Watamu is my hometown. So
coastal part of Kenya.
Yes, the coastal side of Kenya. So if you're looking for accommodation, even if it's not Watamu, because then I have links and friends all across Kenya. yeah, you can still reach out if you need accommodation. Same number, +254 752 241 and we'll be able to assist you.
Future plans of traveling?
Yes. So this is the thing. Being a travel junkie, my goal for life is to travel to every country in this world. There are 198. Yes. I've only done, I think, I'm almost 20. So I still have a long way to go.
Oh, within Africa?
Within Africa,
and
yes,
America, right?
Yes, yes. So the goal being to travel to all these countries. I also want to do it with a plan. Because again, I'm a perfectionist. So my plan is to first finish Africa. So I want to do all the 54 countries in Africa. Then once I finish Africa, then I can decide the next continent, do that continent and finish. So me, I don't do bucket list. The people do, oh, it's Bali, it's doing nini. Me, I go with the map, the way the countries are. So you see, like last time I left at Malawi. So the next trip I should do is continue now until South Africa. Yeah, and then from there I can say, okay, South of Africa, I'm done. East of Africa, I'm already done. So I go to now West of Africa. Do West of Africa, then North. North of Africa. Once I finish that, then I decide which other continent until I finish all the 198.
With your family?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Because there are places you can't go with kids. You know, there are adventures you can't take with kids. Like this one that I was doing, it was intense. I could not have taken the kids. Yeah, so we do travel with them, but there's some that would just be my adventure. Because this is my work as well. Yeah.
And him, the future plans, do you like traveling or what do you love? Or maybe the business, maybe you're an entrepreneur?
Everything.
Yeah, let us know.
So as far as traveling goes, like, yeah, I want to travel too. But my main concern really is to make sure that we have what we need financially to be either stable or thrive.
For the family.
And so, yeah. For her, like, it's having travel money. For the kids, it's having money for school, lunch, and toys, and, you know, whatever else, crayons, things like that. I don't really want too much for myself. If I get if I get a pack of socks on my birthday, I'm happy with it. Don't care. Although, for my birthday, all I want is a steak dinner. That's it.
Always.
Steak
When
dinner.
is your birthday?
January.
January.
Yeah, I think that's the only time I'm gonna splurge on myself. And it's nothing exotic. I just want a steak dinner and a nice stiff drink like a Jack and Coke. And that's it. Everything else, it just goes towards the family.
So thank you so much for listening in on our love story on Miss Reche YouTube channel. If you want to follow more of our adventures, I welcome you to my channel or our channel. It's mostly my channel. You'll not find him. He pops in as a guest. So you can come to my channel, The Adventures of Marie on YouTube, and join my community there as well. We do everything, you know, budget travel, but also just enjoying life and having fun because you only live once. Yeah.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Adios, y'all.